Ian, so there's Town 1, Arlesey 2. In my opinion, not a true reflection of the game. When they talk about a game of two halves, I think it certainly was. First half, what's your opinion on the first half?
Played well again, very similar to Bedford, where we controlled the game, high tempo, pressed the ball, been working on pressing in training, importance of pressing in 2s and 3s, and so you can nick the ball back and then spring them, and we did it for the first half, and we unlucky not just to be one up in the first half. We had a good opportunity from Ed from across. We should have made a better deal of the header, but total control. It was very similar to Bedford, and unfortunately our second half performances when we've been in this position it's almost, you know what's going to happen, which is, I'll be honest, which is partly the reason I changed things around last week against Bedford, because I could see that coming. So we changed formation, changed personnel, and tried to spark us on the second half display. Obviously that didn't work against Bedford, and then today, no, I can't put my finger on it. We were sitting in there,
Well, from our side of the pitch, I thought the first half, we were total control, outstanding, played to our strengths where we looked after the football. All right, we made a few mistakes here and there, but overall we were in control of the game. The opposition were typical, no disrespect for them, a typical big side, two big lads at the back, big goalkeeper, with Drew and Dylan up front, are always dangerous, and they just played to them, but they didn't even get into that. And the first half, worthy of 1-0 up, and we come out in the second half and we stopped playing, didn't we?
We told them what to expect. That we could hear their manager having a go at them at half time, and we told them that the ball's going to come thick and fast. It's going to be pinged wide. It's important that if we concede possession high up the pitch, that we then press so they don't get quality balls into the box or quality deliveries, and we didn't. We backed off and we done our usual first 10 minutes and crumbled. And we just go backwards and backwards. Our defence get deeper and deeper instead of higher and higher. Then we can't press anywhere. Then we isolate Ed, isolate Jay. Then saying that we broke them twice on a 3v3 situations and a 3v2, where we just didn't show the desire to want to get on the end of it. And then I think Jay sort of made the wrong decision on one pass, and the other pass was kind of waiting for Nathan to come beside him. But again, it's that, isn't it? We're playing Ed up top and Jay today. It's completely new.
Well, we know that, and
Nathan again. Obviously, he's trying to find his feet with us.
Yeah, and he looked a bit tired after, as I said to you at half time. But I've always had the saying: if you haven't got the football, you can't play. And unfortunately for us in the second half, we gave the football away far too much. We pumped it forward. We got under a little bit of pressure, and we pumped it forward. And unfortunately, the balls we were giving were down the middle of the pitch. And if you've got to have a break and you want to give it away, then you've got to channel it. You've got to put it in the channel and turn the fullback, and the fullback either gives it to the goalkeeper, tries to turn, or the fullback's got to knock it out, and that gives you a breathing space. And we can play football and we can look after the ball, and it's I feel sorry for you and Andy, because the ability's there, the quality's there without a shadow of a doubt. A couple of players might not make it for next season. That's what these games are for. And there's other players you didn't play today, you might give a chance in the next few games. That's what we're doing. And I think it's far better to do what we're doing, even though we're losing a few games, to understand what we need and what we don't need. And I think against Bedford you identified a couple of things with players. I think today we've probably identified a few things again. And when we get undone by two horrible goals,
60-yard ball, he's flashed a shot across the keeper's took off his guard, and the other one was just a time to cross the ball and put it where he wants, and then some just runs across somebody.
Dylan basically headed it into an empty net, and so that's bad marking. And the Drew Roberts goal, most people would look at it and think, what a great goal. Well, I didn't, because I had the right angle. And unfortunately for Jack, I thought Jack could have even caught it, if you want the honest truth. But whether he stopped because he thought it was offside and everybody thought it was offside. I don't know whether it was or not, but it's irrelevant. You shouldn't stop.
I just think he's hit it early and it just took him.
Surprise, he swung a foot. How did it win? But it wasn't a spectacular goal. It looked it, but it wasn't. And then we go 2-1 down, and then we rush again, and they don't pass the ball again. But as I said to you earlier, these are young players, but they're full of quality. They should be full of energy, which they are. And it's a new team we're trying to knit together, and it's far better for us to do what we're doing now for the last 8 games, whatever we were doing it for, then get a squad together pre-season, not knowing who you got, who you don't want, not playing players in pre-season and then saying you're not good enough or we don't really want you or they're not our style of player.
Yeah, we've got the nucleus of what we're looking for. There's always. Obviously, I've spoken to Greg at Norwich. There's opportunities there for us with players. We need to go and see them early pre-season, and we know what we're looking for. We've spoken to 2 other guys that want to come, but we can't speak. They can't come till next year, obviously.
No, we can't sign them anyway.
There's 2 or 3 people that are experienced at this level of football that we're, and there's obviously the contacts that yourself know and in other positions. So things are in place. It's almost as if we just need to. I don't just want this to peter out. It's important that we start picking up some points now and get momentum into finish the season.
And to be honest with you, Ian, I think we will. I think we've had a bit of bad luck as well in our games. We've allowed opposition to basically get on top of us, but that can be combated by looking after the football. We can't bring any more players in, and there are players we want because we're not allowed because of transfer.
You say it's a good opportunity now, though, to see. There's 3 boys, like you said, that weren't even involved today, and they'll all be, 2 of them will possibly be involved Wednesday, and they'll get an opportunity. We've got a couple of injuries today. Young Reece Loudon will get thrown in on Wednesday just to see. Give him a game and see how he gets on.
You've got Reece, you've got Andre, we know about Woody anyway, but
Yeah, these boys deserve a go. People like Woody and sort of, Reece that have trained regularly, they travel a long way. Woody does to train. He hasn't had a sniff the last few games, so these boys deserve an opportunity.
And if Lewis fit, he come on. Lewis,
give him a game.
He looked very good when he come on. So this is what we're trying to do. So I don't want everyone, I don't want the supporters to feel despondent and say what's going on. We're taking this opportunity, and I said before, I think I said in my programme notes, it doesn't matter whether you finish 8th or 18th. No one's going to remember where you finished. And we're doing something different what other clubs are doing. We're trying to play now for next season. And I think it's going to give us a great start for next season. And as you say, we've got our contacts with Norwich. We're talking to them. You don't have to be Einstein to understand that, we're looking for a couple of more forwards, especially a centre forward. We don't know. You've got ideas on what you want. Yeah,
I think we know what we want. I mean, we've been looking at the sort of players that we like and that we see as a future of the club. But I think we have to be very mindful that we also need certain personnel within that sort of remit that are capable of doing both. Either experienced at this level or can do it at this level. Whether that means, we're not going to go to a local club and offer people silly money for players that are proven at this level. This is our job to find players. Let's be honest. Everyone can stand in the crowd behind the goal and identify when somebody makes a bad pass and then tell him he's rubbish. Everyone can do that.
That's easy.
But it's trying to find, maybe the ones that have got potential beyond that. That's what we're doing at the club. Me, Andy, Steve and King and yourself, it's easy that my missus could spot the best player out there today, but she'd have trouble spotting the ones that would be good next year, which is what we're trying to do. We're trying to pick potential here, and that takes time. And like you say, fortunately we've got that opportunity now to do that. So.
And all the players we've brought in, they're not necessarily the players who are going to be here next year. We're giving them the opportunity in the last 8 games to prove themselves and prove that they're worth being in our squad for next year. It's not, and it's players we've liked. And if you put a scenario where we're in the 2nd week of July and we're bringing these players in who we've brought in, bringing them in then, and then we're trying to get trainings together, trying to get the squad together, playing friendly, trying to work at that. At least when we get back and we start playing our friendlies, there won't be too many chopping and changing. We'll be working on our tactics, our play, blending it together and doing well. You know, so people must not be disappointed about it, you know, or despondent. You know, if you see, when you do see the highlights, and you know, we see the full video every week. We get the full video, the coaches and myself. We get the full video every week and we watch it. And I've watched the Bedford one. I don't know if you have yet. And I thought we were very good first half and fell away second. But that was a lot of different reasons, that one. And today, I think if we watch the video, which we certainly will today, you will see an outstanding team performance in the first half, totally in control. And then we can look at the second half, and even though we've got our opinions now about it, at least it will show us what we have to work on and where we have to work on. And there's not a lot wrong. You can't
I think it's just basics
and say
today.
we got walloped, because we didn't.
I think we've got to look at what went well and why it went well the first half, and then just build on that. What went well was we've been doing pressing. We did a pressing practice on Thursday night about getting to the ball quick, putting them under pressure, nicking it and hitting the wide players. Now we pressed it well, but I don't remember us hitting the wide players too early, because both of them were quite narrow. But saying that, they were getting the right side to press and help, so it's then a big ask to spring out and become an option. But we've got to do that. If they don't do it, then our front men's got to be the option. So
ball possession in the first half, we had a lot, and they, even if they could play, they weren't allowed to play.
We pressed them.
They never had a lot of the ball. They were chasing a lot.
We asked them to do the same. We knew it'd be hard the second half. We said, do it. We've got the personnel to change it. They've got a good balanced bench, but straight away we were giving them time to deliver. You know, Searsy was lost his shape a little bit, bless him, because he was spending a lot of his time covering other people and charging other people. Right. You know, the 150, 60-yard ball that's been put over, he's marking the player that scored. You know, he's trying to get there. So where are the defence as the ball's coming out? You know, silly things like that. We need to focus and concentrate. I think some of it is concentration. Most of it's confidence. Yeah,
confidence and concentration. It's not about ability, far from it. It's not about knowing how to pass the ball, playing with the ball, looking after the ball. It's purely down to concentration.
I think it's just expect, you know, our lads, to be fair to them. You know, Gav's defended really well, and Arthur's done well at left back, and Geordie's done well before he went off, and Ryan, you know, we had good shape, and then obviously you take one of them cogs out, and all of a sudden it started to unfold a little bit, and we missed Geordie's pace through the middle when he went off, and we couldn't combat it, and Gav got a bit deeper just to say he could see it more and manage it more, but then that just spread the game out, you know. But we're just expecting it to happen, you know. So,
but first off, we did get down the lines.
Yeah, we worked the ball into the channels. We didn't often. I asked them to go a bit more direct, just play, and then hit and get, and that encouraged Nathan Louis to stay wide. But they kept drifting in to get it, and we didn't have the fullbacks going beyond. But we can. It wasn't an issue because we were controlling it and they weren't hurting us. But it does become an issue if you don't turn a defence when you're telling them to. If it's going to come straight back and put you under pressure again time and time again, because then it's difficult for the defence to get up then.
And because of us knocking the ball forward, not aimlessly, because that's not a very nice thing to say.
Well, it looked like it.
Knocking the ball forward. Well, yeah, you know, we're knocking it forward.
Just clearing our lines, I think.
Clearing their lines into their central midfield and two mid defenders without putting it to the wing. So it kept coming back, and the game narrowed out for us. Totally narrowed out second half. And you know, if we'd spread it, opened it, wingers got wider, put a foot on the ball, midfielders spread it, held their positions, played their positions, yeah, we could have probably went on and won it comfortably. But that's experience, that's concentration, and these are young lads, but they're very, very good young lads.
Yeah, they are good, and I think what we're trying to do here is just keep the better ones and the ones that want to be here and ones that will fit our philosophy, and then add that to. You're going to get one or two that just pop up a pre-season that you'll be worth a look at. A couple of loan players, and then there's 2 or 3 lads that we're looking. Then we've got a good balance of a squad that we need to compete in, you know, at the highest level in this league. At the moment, I think we are lacking in experience, but we know that. And, you know, the only way they're going to get experience is to play half a dozen games in this league.
Absolutely, and and
that's what we're doing.
We've got about 5 games left, or 4 or 5 games left in the league, and already we know, or you and Andy know. Some of the players who might not be here.
Yeah, we know the squad.
We know be here. and you also know your targets on what we're looking at.
Yeah, so we're in place, and it's just now giving these boys opportunity to prove themselves and us opportunity to look at them, and that's it. There's not many clubs in that same position this year that would want to do that. I think
well, they don't do it, to be honest with you, Ian. As I said in my programme notes, they play to the end of the season what they got, and they see the season out without thinking of the following season. And I think you'll be surprised by some of the teams in this league next year. Totally different, haven't got a decent start, and we're trying to do something different. And hey, why shouldn't we? You know, providing the fans stick with us, which I hope you do. And there's no reason why you shouldn't. You know, we've given you lots of success here, and everybody knows what we're trying to do, and we're asking everybody to buy into that, please, because we're getting it, no problem. All right then.
Hey, what about another quality free kick this week? We sort of glossed over that.
Yeah, let's just go into.
It's what about? Yeah, I mean, I did say in there, it's great. I'm more concerned about how many goals we scored in open play lately. It's more my concern. It was a fantastic free kick, and it's almost, a given. But the lack of, I mean, saying that, if Ed scores that one, makes it 2-2. We're flying today. We've got what we deserved out of it at least. Ed's got what he deserved because he had a complete all-round display there. But again, first game up front for a year. Tried to have another touch and be sure. Should have just hit it. But
I thought he done well.
Yeah, he did.
He looked as though he could play the position with another centre forward up there with him. He could.
Yeah, that's right.
He could quite play the position.
I think Ed off. I thought Jay done well. But I think, one thing I think we've all understood we need in this league is a big target man. I think we need a target man. He's got to be able to play.
Yeah,
let's be honest. But he's got to have decent feet. But it's someone where we have got to get out, where we can, if we do just get stuck in, we can compete and put the defenders under pressure. It doesn't come straight back. That's all. Yeah. We've known that obviously for a little while now, and that's an area we're looking at, and we're comfortable that we've got that sorted for next year. So
well, we hope we have. A big bloke who can hold it up, tall, but can play football as well. And Lewis did score a very good free kick. He actually put it along the floor.
Yeah,
he didn't go over the wall. He cut it round the background on the floor. And it was a good kick. But as Ian said, the 2 goals we have got in the last 3 games are both in from
free kicks. Yeah.
And we haven't scored anything from open play. So we are addressing that. So. Thanks for that, Eddie. Thanks for letting me know about that. All right then.
Yes, you were watching the game, man.
Let's move on to Kettering on Wednesday. We won't underestimate them.
No, they've done quite well, haven't they, recently?
They've done well, reasonably well.
It's going to be a tough game because we're expected to go and roll them over comfortably and take the 3 points. And the fans that were stood behind the goal sort of giving me a little bit of grief today will expect that, and quite rightly so. They pay their money; they're entitled to their opinion. I would ask them maybe don't aim it purely at certain players because it doesn't help anyone. I'll apologise for having a little chat back with you, but you're entitled to your opinion. But it's a game where we can go there and if we're not on our mettle again, we can come undone there. So we've got to go there with that first half performance in mind. Give these younger boys, I think, sort of 2 or 3 changes again that will disrupt us a little bit. But I think I've got to be fair and have a look at these boys now. I'm not saying we're going to sacrifice a result because that's first and foremost what we want, 3 points. But it's almost as important that we give these boys opportunity that we've signed and we have a look at them, proper look at them at this competitive level. Because although we could play a good pre-season team and look at them, it's not the same.
Yeah, but you're not.
It's not
playing teams in our division.
No,
you're not competing or testing yourself against the teams that are actually in our division, and that's why it's a great opportunity.
We'll be okay. We'll go there, and I'm sure we'll nick something from that game.